I am back to do another brand review. So let's go ahead and see what is next. We have Sage next. Let me go ahead and click through and let's walk through this together. Actually, let me take that off so you guys can see. Okay, so I am going to be looking for single essential oils and blends to review. So it looks like shop is over here. We have blends, essential oils. So yes, I am looking on singles and I want to look for single essential oils, not roll-ons. So let's go ahead and zoom in here a bit so even those of you who are on mobile can see. So here we go. That's more like it. So if you saw the last review I did, their rose essential oil was like $36 for 5 ounces, which was ridiculous. So this is more like it. You see you have a 5 ml here for $38. That pricing tells me that there's probably legitimate rose in that bottle compared to the other one. Alrighty, so let's start with peppermint since that's here. Alrighty, so we have... Let's check out their how to use. 5 to 10 drops to 2 teaspoons for local application. That does not go over the topical max for peppermint, so that is good. So 4 to 12 drops in a bowl of steaming water is a lot. I recommend 1 or 2 drops of essential oil. Why does this say frankincense? Oh, that's showing frankincense. Anyways, I only recommend 1 or 2 drops of essential oil, and peppermint is one you want to be super careful of because when you are doing a steam inhalation, it can get, you want to make sure your eyes are closed, of course, but still, even with your closed eyes, the menthol from the peppermint can make them water and make them feel like they're stinging. So I do not agree with their recommendation of 4 to 12 drops. That is a lot. 10 to 15 drops to a diffuser could be fine. Could be too much. Could be fine. I like how they're suggesting to start with the lowest number of drops and increase as desired. That is good. So I thought their how to use might be a little bit more, okay, packaging information. Okay, I'm going to assume that this recommendation is probably one of those standard recommendations that they have on everything, which is good because it covers their butt. But it's not very informative for you because you know you can pretty much ignore that. So when it says keep out of reach of children, you're probably like, it's probably fine. When it says do not use if pregnant or breastfeeding, you're probably like, it's probably fine. So I'm assuming this is generic, which is great. Again, covers their butts, but it doesn't do a whole lot for you guys to know what the safety is. So I'm looking for... I'm not seeing... Okay, so those clicky things over here, this is the first time I've been to their website. It looks like the same information is on their page. Show full ingredients. Peppermint, mentha, piperita. Perfect. So I'm not seeing anything about do not use with children under age 6. Be careful if you are breastfeeding because it might reduce your milk supply. I'm not seeing that either. And I'm not seeing the topical max of 5.4% either. So let's just go back to, let's go to Eucalyptus next. Now this is one that's recommended for ages 10 and above. And let's see if they mention that at all. It does look like the same generic, I'm not saying that's bad, just saying it's the same information on all of these. So you guys aren't going to know what the safety really is if this is what they're recommending. In fact, it does also look like this how to use is the same as, no, it's not identical, 4 to 7 drops to 2 teaspoons of carrier oil, but it is pretty similar. This steaming water diffusing massage, this looks pretty similar as the other recommendation. Okay, that's interesting. So let's see, let's take a look at tea tree. Tea tree doesn't really have safety issues. Massage, steaming water, diffuser. So they're not too helpful on specific uses. Like tea tree essential oil has very specific uses. And And it looks like their how to use is fairly generic from essential oil to essential oil. I am seeing that this, I'm just noticing this for right now. Let's see, beneficial for soothing irritated skin, encouraging deep breathing. Maybe. Not necessarily. Bergamot. Now, this can be phototoxic depending on the bergamot used. Relaxing yet uplifting. Yep, that can be possible. Okay, same thing. So, you really don't want to use all essential oils for steam distillation. Massaging all essential oils is not necessarily going to be helpful. You may not need to diffuse. It does look like they're using pretty generic information here on the how to use as well, which the how to use should be different depending on the essential oil, because they have different uses. So there's nothing here indicating whether this is steam distilled or cold pressed. Now, if this is cold pressed, which most bergamot is, you are going to be exposing yourself for phototoxicity if you don't properly dilute. Now, bergamot, your typical cold pressed bergamot, is going to need a 0.4% dilution when diluting, which is very, very, very low. So there are recommendations here of 2 drops to 4 teaspoons. Well, that's actually quite close. That would be quite close because that's the equivalent of a half a drop per teaspoon. So that's pretty close. Okay, so it does seem like somebody that wrote this is understanding that you do need to dilute this a lot. But I'm not seeing a specific number here. I'm not seeing this could potentially be phototoxic. Not seeing that either, and that's what I like to see when I come to a bergamot profile. Lemongrass is another one that has a really low topical max as well. Let's see what they have here. 2 drops to 4 teaspoons. That would be properly diluted, yes. See, you don't want to do a steam distillation with this. So, I kind of wish they had more specific recommendations for the how to use. They're pretty much their how to use section looks pretty much the same from one to the other. Let's see. Ylang ylang. 5 drops to 2 teaspoons. That's probably diluted properly. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything a whole lot specific here. I'm not seeing unsafe information though. Really. I mean, they're lacking some information, but the information they're providing, oh, they had to go and do it. The information they're providing, I was just going to say, at least is aware that things need to be diluted, which is good. And again, their generic disclaimer covers their butt. And, you know, I don't know who could actually, if you actually read these, who could actually use this? When you actually read these, you want to be very, very careful, yes. Now, cinnamon. Now, the one thing I'm not crazy about when I'm seeing cinnamon is it's not indicating whether it's the leaf or the bark. And cinnamon bark would not be safe during pregnancy and breastfeeding, whereas cinnamon leaf is. And they both have very low topical maxes, very low. Even lower than this. A drop and 2 teaspoons is not going to be low enough. For the 0.06 or 0.1 is not going to be low enough. 1 drop to a bowl. So it does see, that tells me, so they went from like 4 to 12 drops down to 1. So that tells me whoever is writing this is aware that you do need to be really careful with cinnamon. But I don't recommend using this in a steam inhalation. That's not what I would recommend. So they're half and half so far. See, patchouli, sage, lavender high grade, rosemary, clary sage tea tree. I can see clary now. Now that's cute. I can see clary now. Okay, that's cute. Local application, massage. Are they recommending tension? Yeah. Interesting. See, Jasmine, I appreciate that they're selling Jasmine as an absolute. That is correct. And the price does reflect an accurate price for Jasmine absolute. So that is good. Okay, so they don't have a lot of singles. They cover the basics, I would say, but they don't have a zillion singles, which is fine. So let's take a peek at their blends. Essential oil blends. Here we go. What oils do you recommend for steam inhalation? Well, steam inhalation is great for congestion, so I'd recommend eucalyptus is great for over age 10. For needle is great too. And 1 or 2 drops is as much as you need, really. Let's take a look at this sleep one. Now, if you are a member of the Yo Recipes Club, you should see my live from tonight if you haven't seen it yet, because I went and showed my awesome formulation for blends. So eorecipeclub.com, and I'm just seeing if their ingredients are anything close to what I suggested. So they're suggesting valerian, Roman chamomile, and lavender. So those aren't bad. Those could be helpful for, okay, full, whoa. Oh, here we go. So this is the full ingredients. We have lavender, orange, mandarin green, Roman chamomile, blue chamomile, vetiver, marjoram, valerian, jasmine, neroli. That's not a bad blend. That's not a bad blend. I would be careful. Sorry, my throat gets dry and then it locks up and then it doesn't work. I would be careful using this topically. Jasmine needs to be diluted a lot, but because it's, you know, in here along with a bunch of others, it could be diluted enough. Some people do have problems with lavender. That is something that for some people can actually be stimulating. If you know that lavender doesn't work for you, this blend won't work for you. But this has a lot of calming essential oils. So it doesn't have the sedatives. See, when I formulate sleep blends, I add the sedative essential oils, and this valerian can be sedative, but these are relaxing. So I'm okay with this blend. Does it recommend? Oh, soles of your feet? Not again. No, I do not recommend adding essential oils to the bottom of your feet unless you have a foot issue. What you want to do, so it does say maybe use under jawline or on wrist, throat, temples, and pulse points as desired. So this is a roller as well, by the way, that I'm noticing here. For sleep, really inhalation is going to be best and the most effective way for you to have the best results when it comes to using essential oils for sleep. Let's see what else. Yes, I know. I have to go in a few minutes. I have to pick my daughter up from youth group. Peaceful slumber, stress release. Let's see what they have in the stress blend. So this is a blend. That's good. Add 10 to 15 drops to your diffuser. Okay, so they are acknowledging the fact that you do want to inhale, which is good. Lavender, orange, chamomile, so similar essential oils. See, myrtle's not safe though. Myrtle is not one that I would recommend adding to anything, and I'm going to show you guys why. Myrtus communis is not recommended at all, period. It is potentially carcinogenic. It has a 1.9% topical max. It does have drug interactions with diabetes, and it should not be used if pregnant or breastfeeding. So that should be something that is noted in this blend, so that if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you know to stay away. But as far as the other ones go, those are definitely calming, relaxing, stress release. I would definitely agree with that one. Other than the myrtle, unfortunately. Let's see what other blends do they have. I'm seeing Goddess. Energy. Okay, let's go for energy. Let's see what they have in their energy blend. Kick caffeine to the curb, an invigorating, revitalizing, and uplifting blend to relieve stressful feelings and help you stay sharp. Ingredients. Grapeseed oil. So this is pre-diluted. Oh, right, because it is a roll-on. So grapeseed oil, and then lemon, rosemary, peppermint, bergamot, and basil. So yeah, rosemary and peppermint are definitely stimulating. Bergamot is actually calming to sedating, so that's interesting to have in an energy blend. Basil is also calming, so that's interesting. Now, I'm not sure what the dilution is. Obviously, they're not showing us their recipe, so we don't know if the lemon and or bergamot is steam distilled or if it's cold pressed. The most common is going to be cold pressed for lemon and bergamot, and that does have the potential for phototoxic reaction when used topically on the skin. So that is a question mark for me. We don't know that. We don't know if that's properly diluted or if it's going to cause phototoxic reactions. Let's look at a pain blend. I prefer to look at not roll-on products, but the actual blends themselves. But here we are. So, okay, joints, backache, arthritis, strains, bruises, and pains. They're not recommending for underage 12. So I wonder if this has wintergreen in it. I wonder if that's why they're not recommending it for underage 12. I'm trying to look for the full ingredients. Show full ingredients. I went right by it. Anthemis nobilis, eucalyptus. So that's, I believe that's one of the chamomiles or something. Eucalyptus, lavender, melaleuca. Oh, that's interesting. Oregano. So oregano, peppermint, rosemary. So they're calling these inactive ingredients and they're calling the menthol as an active ingredient. I wish they just list the essential oils. So yeah, oregano has issues. Peppermint has issues with, underage 6. Rosemary is not for underage 10, but they do recommend not using this for underage 12, which I'm glad for. That is good. So let's see what other blends they have. Okay, let's see. If you guys see anything you want me to click on, let me know. Unwind. They have a lot of relaxing ones, I find. Dream, good night, unwind, relax, stress. Aroma Fairy, children's diffuser blend. I'm sorry, I have to click on this. I'm curious. Okay, so this is like a child-friendly essential oil blend will bring gentle harmony into your lively home. Let's see what essential oils. Yeah, that's cool. That looks good. Margarine. Let me just make sure on the margarine which one that is, because there's 2 different ones and one is cool and one is not cool. Margarina. See, that's what I was afraid of. There's no indication on which one, if it's the wild or the sweet. Now, both are safe for all ages, but the wild marjoram does have a topical max and it is anticoagulant. So I would be curious to know which one that is. But let's take a peek. What time is it? Okay, so I've got like 4 minutes. Let's take a peek at a couple more. Brainstorm. Let's look at that one. So this is for attention. Bright balance bend, new ideas, keep energy flowing. Let's take a look at the ingredients. Oh, myrtle. Myrtle's not a good one. That's potentially carcinogenic and I don't recommend using it at all. Geranium and clary sage are great for emotional issues. Clove bud. I don't see how that belongs in this blend. Cedarwood is sedating. Orange and lemon. Now, orange can be calming, and lemon can be stimulating. So, interesting blend. I think minus the myrtle, that could actually be a good blend. Minus the myrtle and minus the clove bud. And definitely, I would not apply this topically. Yeah, I would definitely diffuse it if it didn't have myrtle in it. Liquid Sunshine. Okay, let's look at that one. Liquid Sunshine. I'm not finding it. Here we go. Liquid Sunshine, cheerful diffuser blend. Was that just the one I was on? No, good. Grapefruit, bergamot, orange, lime, and mandarin. We have a winner! That sounds delicious. That sounds delicious. Grapefruit, bergamot, orange, lime, and mandarin. Can you tell I love citrus essential oils? That is delicious sounding. Yes. And I don't mean to eat. That would smell great. Yes. Good karma. Okay. Good karma. Now that I'm only finding as a bath drop. I wonder what essential oils this has in it. Orange cedarwood. Ooh. You have to be super careful with things like clove bud in a bath, things like ylang ylang, because they have really low topical maxes, and you want to be super careful with that. So, not sure how I feel. I try to only review the blends and the essential oils and not products because, as you can see, it contains other information as well. Unwind. And no, eucalyptus is not unsafe. Oh, sorry. I thought rosemary wasn't pregnancy safe. It depends on the rosemary. If it's camphor, actually, let me look. Your typical rosemary that's going to be cineol is fine for pregnancy. Camphor rosemary is also fine. Yeah, both of those are safe for pregnancy. There is one that's not safe for pregnancy, but I don't have that on hand right now. We have Unwind Blend. Let's look at this. Ingredients: lavender, bergamot, geranium, cinnamon. Now, okay, it does say leaf. I was going to say. Now, what I don't like when companies just say cinnamon is the fact that they don't specify, is it leaf or is it bark? Because there is a difference. There's a difference in safety. Cinnamon bark is not safe for pregnancy, whereas cinnamon leaf is. But they're both blood thinners and they both have interactions with aspirin and stuff. Orange, bergamot, lavender, geranium, and cinnamon. Now, I think that would actually probably smell really good. That to me sounds really nice. Definitely inhalation here because of the bergamot. We don't know if it's steam distilled or if it's cold pressed. The cold pressed will be phototoxic if applied to the skin and not properly diluted to the 0.4% topical max that it has. But they are recommending inhalation here. So I would say tonight so far, this is probably, I want to word this very carefully. I'm seeing less issues with this brand than the other ones that I've reviewed so far tonight. Let's see, cold and coughs. Let me just do one more. I can't help myself. This is so fun. And I will be back on. Once I grab my daughter and come home, I will be definitely back on to do more of your companies that you have asked me to check out. I am not... Okay, for which one was it that I wanted to... Why am I not seeing the colds and coughs? Okay, so it's not a colds and coughs one specifically. So that's what the fortify means. Okay, so let's check out fortify. So this is for children. Okay, so this is what they're recommending to use for fresh, revitalizing, clearing, soothe and support your little one's wellness. Okay, so ingredients. See, myrtle's not cool. Lavender is fine, tea tree and peppermint. Lavender's calming, tea tree is great for germs. Peppermint is not for under age 6, and they don't tell you that here. Myrtle is potentially carcinogenic. I don't recommend anyone use it, period. Provide soothing vapors that help to temporarily relieve for children over 2. See, I do not agree with that for children over 2. I would say for children over 6. But because of the myrtle, I would say, unfortunately, nobody. So, I think, and this is really for pretty much any company, for the most part, let me just flip this around. For the most part, if you know your safety, you can pretty much use any brand. Now, there was one brand that I did assess earlier that had like 5 ounces of sandalwood for $21, I think, and rose was like $36 for 5 ounces. That's not legit. There were a lot of eyebrows, multiple eyebrows raised on that one. It's like, really don't think I trust you guys. But most companies are generally going to have decent products. It's just the safety information that they're making you aware of, the recommendations that they are providing for you if those are safe. But if you have some good resources, then you can decide which blends to pick, because you know some of them may be formulated better than others. You can also decide not really which single essential oils to choose, but when you choose those essential oils, you can know what the safety is based on the information that I've provided, rather than the information that they're providing on their website, which doesn't seem to be very full of safety information. So I hope you enjoyed this assessment. If you want specific questions answered on specific blends that maybe I didn't go over, if you have a question about anything I said, if you want me to clarify anything, if you have a question about a specific single essential oil, anything like that specific to this brand only, reply in the comments and I will do my best to keep up with everybody and answer those for you in full. Now, this will be posted on YouTube as well, so look for that. And probably in about a half an hour, I will be back on and I will assess the next non-US brand for you guys in the UK, Canada, Australia, and wherever. So I will see you guys soon. See ya.